Okay, hello and welcome. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Well, what was the DLC for Warhammer 2 Total War being released within the last day? We're going to be doing some of that today, or tonight, as it were, because, hey, it's new stuff, and I've been playing it a bit, and I want to play some more, so you're just going to have to all indulge me on this. This is the Twisted Under Twilight, I think it's called. What was Throt the Unclean and Sisters of Twilight? As well as with the big update for the Wood Elves. I've been playing a bit of Throt the Unclean, and I haven't actually looked at the Wood Elf stuff yet, so I thought we would do a Drycha campaign tonight because I'm up for more fighting with angry tree spirits. That sounds like a fun time, especially more with the, updated Wood Elf mechanics. Hello, welcome. Drycha is fun. I've had a bit of a look at her units when Throt the Unclean's campaign. Throt the campaign's unclean. Yeah, it seems pretty neat. Especially from what I've heard, she's able to get like tree men really early on, so that should be fun. I need to also do like an Orion campaign or something, see how that's changed. I never even got to see his wild hunt mechanic in the base game. Also welcome. This is also quite weird for me because, of course, we're playing this without any mods. I'm sure a bunch of mods have been updated. It's really common in my streams and my plays of this to be playing with a variety of mods active, but what was the update just having come out? I'm going to give it a bit. So we're going to be playing completely vanilla, which is fine, but it's going to be odd because there's going to be a lot of stuff which I'm very used to missing. Anyway, here's Drycha. Angry tree. I like her big claws, and I like the purple coloration too. That looks neat. Have a moment of silence for which mod was it that added Drycha in it? Was it geez, was it the Lords? Forgotten Lords or something like that, bud? Maybe. Anyway. What has she got? Wargrove of Woe. Minus 10% upkeep for all Dryad, Treekin, and Treeman units, all armies. Research change gives me some options too. Yes, I saw that. Tabletop Lords, Mixus, maybe. I'm not going to check it right now. There was a mod which had Drycha. She was actually a legendary lord available for Durthu, one I'm thinking of. So we did actually get her along for the ride with Durthu when I played a Durthu campaign a number of months ago. Now. Where Durthu invaded Ulthuan, took up the Sword of Cain and proceeded to wreck face with that. That was fun. I have to do that again. Plus 10% upkeep for all elf units. Yes, I saw that. She can get elf units, but they have debuffs to them because they've been mind controlled. She starts with 1 amber, and I've seen that you can do something with this 1 amber to make things quite easier at the beginning. Yes, this is it. All elf units are glamoured, reducing their combat power and making them expendable, which is neat. You can just use them expendable fodder. I like that. Minus 5 public order, local enemy province. Okay. Weapon strength plus 10% for dryads and plus 5 melee attack for dryad units. We're gonna have to see all the different changes to the skills for the treekin and the tree spirits because I remember I was able to get a lot of physical resistance and ward save on them before. We're going to have to see whether that's going to be the same. We actually have some unique units, these malevolent treemen and malevolent dryads, and treekin, I suppose, as well. I think the main difference with them is that they have frenzy. Maybe some physical resistance as well. We also get giant wolves and everything else, so let's get in here. Get started. From the fringes of the Empire's forests comes worrying rumors of trees that come alive, hungry for blood. The anger and woe of the Dryads is not random, however, for the forest does not distinguish good from evil, but smites all external threats, as well as those living within considered interlopers. Drycha has long examined every action of the Azrae of Athaloran, and by the will of the Elder Ancients, she is determined to succeed where she is convinced they will fail. So, yes.
Mighty leader of Dryads, though you have been exiled from Athelloren, your purpose here is clear. Men of the Empire brazenly hack and burn woodlands that have stood since the Forgotten Season, heedless of their folly. Nourish the world roots with their blood. But your true enemy will always be the Azrae. They claim to be the Forest's allies, but are as unreliable as any interloper and are not to be trusted. Tear down their halls. Finish what Goedil started. Above all, Athelloren must be your final goal, for the Oak of Ages will surely wither in the meddling hands of the elves. Instate yourself as its true guardian, and make them rue the day they trespassed upon your sacred home. The Azrae are pretenders, Maven of Woe. It is time to show that your kind are the true sentinels of the forest. Punish your enemies, bring life back to the woodlands, and bloodshed to those who dare oppose you.
Drycha getting really into it there. He says Maven. I thought it was Maiden. Whatever. Just misreading it all the time. Let's see. Amber is now only gained by fully growing a forest. So you think there are 8 or 9 and you got something like 14 research options that take amber. Yes, I saw the amber mechanic has been done. Let's see. I haven't actually read too much. I've watched a few videos, you know, from the other YouTubers about how these mechanics have changed, but it's one thing, you know, watching it and another thing doing it yourself, so you have to forgive me if I spend some time reading about this. Yeah, right, so I know this. The roots of this forest here, we start in the Griffinwood, which is above Mordheim, and also the Sylvania. And we need to either raise these regions, or I think we have to get a military alliance or something with the faction which is there, and that counts as well. I'll probably just be going for wiping them out. No, you know, no diplomacy. What is this? And that contributes to the growth of the forest here, which gives us more bonuses as it gets higher in growth. Yes. We could also use the deep woods to travel around the world. Okay, we can do that on turn 10 if we want to. I probably want to get this one down here. Oh, we can see those from the beginning. Okay. Yeah, there's Griffinwood here, Laurelon Forest there, Forest of Gloom there. There's the Sacred Pools down there, Gayan Vale over there, and the Witchwood up here. This is where the Sisters of Twilight start. There's actually a new faction there. That's Listen Men. Can't see what the name of the faction is. Does it say? Nope. Okay. Probably Defenders of the Sacred Pools or something like that. And Avalon over here. There's that. Anyway. You want to do a raise run since you finished a capture playthrough with a very nice raise tech to help out. Yeah, I mean, it feels like it would be a bit of a cop-out to get alliances with the humans, even though you're supposed to be wiping out all of the, you know, all the living, all the people, because you can't trust them. So, anyway, yeah, we could use the world routes to traverse around. Deep roots. Yeah, that's the same thing, isn't it? Yes. Oak of Ages. That's the big tree over here. Ultimate goal of the Wood Elves Mortal Empire campaign is to complete the ritual rebirth in Athelor and defend the oak. Due to her exile, Drycha needs to return to Aetheloren and expel the Wood Elves that currently control the Oak of Ages. Also, try and get a confederation with Durthu. I wonder if we'll get bonuses for that. Elf glamoring. Drycha's association with the Elder Ancient Coedal prevents her from recruiting certain elven lords and heroes. Elven units do not fight for the Wargrove voluntarily, and instead are glamoured under a spell to believe they fight for their Queen Ariel, reducing certain fighting attributes but increasing their leadership. Conversely, Tree Spirit lords, heroes, and units are stronger in the Wargrove, possessing unique skills, traits, and upgrade options. Wild spirits and beasts. Wherever Drycha goes, the enchanted flora and fauna of the forest flock to her side. This allows her to swiftly recruit special forest spirits units and wild beasts in limited quantities via the Wild Spirits and Beasts button. Okay. So we don't have a building which just allows us to recruit them. They're like a limited resource. Aspects. Tree spirits units in Drycha's faction can shift between aspects that provide bonuses and penalties that alter their role in combat. Yeah, I know this. This is this here, which you can get different bonuses. It's like the orc scrap mechanic, except you're just paying gold for it, and you can actually replace them afterwards. So you can swap them around depending on what you want. They come with debuffs. But they also come with rather nice buffs. So if you want more armor piercing, you go for the aspect of the birch, as it says. Minus 10% physical resistance. Okay, that halves it. Slower, but charged defense versus large. Yeah, so on. Court of Adivoch. A variety of benefits may be gained by appointing lords to positions of officers on the Court of Adivoch. That would be this. No, that's not that. This one. Yes, the officer's mechanic. Handmaiden of Coedal. It says Handmaiden there. Briar Maven. Oh, I suppose. Whatever. Plus 5 melee attack when fighting against elves. Plus 10% weapon strength when fighting against elves. Lord's army. Okay. What's this? Speaker of the Lost. Oh, Speaker for the Lost. Replaces the Glamoured passive ability with Insidious Glamour for all elf units. Constant on self, plus 8 leadership, with gives expendable. However, I believe that means that it's actually removing the penalties you get for it. So they just get plus 8 leadership and they're expendable, which is kind of nice.
Network that connects the most important forests of the world.
You got to start yakking again.
Healing them not only strengthens the world roots, but also grants you powerful benefits.
Okay, thank you. Now get out of here, old man. I kind of want a mod where the narrator is a playable lord, maybe his own faction. He starts beating up all the other factions and teaching them a lesson. You never listened to my advice. You always dismissed me early. Now it's my time to take you all to school. It's like the Raised Dead feature, but for beasts. Okay. Yeah, here it is. So we can get giant wolves, malevolent dryads, cave bats. I'm sure they're just like the vampire counts bats. Which is fine. They don't have crumble. I don't know. Are their stats any different? I rather like the fell bats for the vampire counts. They're nice for harassing archers before you get to a siege wall, before you get to walls, and also siege equipment. You just chuck them away. However, because these aren't undead, they're going to have a problem with staying in the staying in battle doing that. And with vampire counts, you can just throw them at archers and they'll die, but they keep them tied up for a long time. You'll get buildings later for forest animals, but it's based on growth, so Waylay Cape. Oh, okay. That happens in the campaign, the guide tells somebody. You can't... Yeah, no, yeah, I know that. You can't spoil it for me. I've got an embarrassing amount of time in this game. You mean the Chaos campaign? I mean, he kind of does, if that's what you mean. And then he gets, well, chomped. So, it doesn't go as planned. Wolves are so strong. Let's see. 95 speed, 45 leadership, 15 armor. They've also got a missile resistance, 15%, I suppose, because there's speed. 26 melee attack, 19 melee defense, 42 weapon strength, 13 armor piercing. I think that's actually around what the wolf rats have for Throp the Unclean. But they don't have the magical attacks which go along with that, so that's pretty nice. And 38 charge bonus, that's pretty good. Yeah, okay. Low leadership, but maybe we'll be able to boost that up somehow. Aeromanticores. Yep. They cause terror, they got rampage. Do you have another ability? No, you got Strider. They've got Woodsman. Yeah. Frenzy, sure. Great Hawks. Vast wingspans blot out the sun just before razor-sharp beaks and rending talons maim and mutilate. Yep, good armor piercing. I guess they're just going to be like how I usually use them. I use these to like hunt down lords and heroes. Get like 2 or 3 of them on a lord and I keep them busy. And seem to do a pretty good job of, you know, dealing with weaker lords. Giant spiders. Beware the 8-legged monsters of the forest's undergrowth and hollows, emerging without warning to bring painful venom-riddled death. I'm surprised you don't have Arachnarok spiders. I suppose they're more in line with the forest goblins. But, like, massive spiders? Like, what's the name? Shelob. Nope. Don't utter that name here. So, giant spiders. Yep, they have poison attacks, armor piercing attacks. 25 armor piercing. Yeah, okay, they're actually dedicated armor piercing. Are the giant spiders for the spider broods or spider spawn from the Arachnarok spiders got armor piercing? I'm trying to think. They don't. 78 speed. That's pretty quick too. Okay, I like the little icon they have for them. They chew through missile and fleeing units like paper. Seems like it. They'll be good to, yeah, run around and deal with archers and all that. You don't know if the spiders have, base spiders have armor piercing or not, but you found that dogs, hawks, and spiders are very useful. They seem useful, because most of our guys are going to be rather slow. What was being trees and all. Yeah, here's the Glamored buff, debuff. You can see it gives them +8 leadership. And expendable, which it's a bonus. Because it means that my forest spirits don't care if they flee. Though the other elves will care if elves flee. Because they all have expendable. +5, -5 melee attack and -10 reload skill. So they're a bit weaker. Normal. As we saw here. This seems to get rid of those debuffs. So it's only a positive there. They're actually better than the elves are generally. Hidden potential. Speaker for the embittered. I'm going all over the place. I'm sorry. What do we have a look at next? You've got the same aspects. It seems like these are just the 3 aspects you get. Swap between the different ones. I did see someone mention that they should have an aspect of the gum tree, and it's just like a chance to explode if set on fire. Or just, I don't know, deals damage around them because they drop branches on everyone. Also get a ton of bonuses for them. Sounds nice. Same 3 names for each unit, but they are different stats for each type of unit. Oh, are they? I suppose, yeah, the tree men get stronger ones. Plus 75 armor piercing weapon damage, because that would be a bit ridiculous on dryads. Yeah, +8 armor piercing, so. Are they listed the same? Birch, oak, willow. Birch, oak, willow. Okay, that's good. 10% missile resistance, 20 armor. 20 armor, charge defense versus large. Okay. Because these would already have charge defense versus large. Or they got expert charge defense, so. Because they're a big stonking tree. plus 250 base weapon damage, and melee defense plus 12. Bonus versus infantry plus 6, and melee defense plus 6. Okay, yeah, it is a stronger version of it. And it costs more too, so there's that as well. Let's have a look at what Drycha's got. Okay, she has Coadil Unchained. Which is actually an item. I did see this when I was playing a Throp the Unclean. She gets a thing called the Fang of Talroth. Which is... It applies dampening effect on her attacks, which reduces magic resistance. Wins a magic cost reduction for Occam's Mind Razor. And the passive ability Fang of Talroth, which gives plus 15 ability recharge for all enemies map wide, which is rather nice. It also gives us the imprisoned legendary hero Coadil. I haven't actually seen what his skills are like. I have seen what he looks like, though. Looks pretty neat. Skewering Branch. I remember that. That's pretty nice for the armor piercing. Skin of the Woods. Plus 10% ward save for Treekin units. I think that's changed. Was that previously only in forests? That was one of the annoying things playing as the Wood Elves with Forest Spirits before, because a lot of their bonuses were only in forests. I'm sure that's still going to be the case. But it's just because, you know, the enemies don't tend to be in forests. And I don't think your ambushes take place in forests. You think that was the same, but they had other ones that were in forests only. Okay. My memory is so bad, I'm not going to be able to remember. Unless I had it right next to me here to check up as we go through. Dark Heart. This is, okay, bonuses for the animals. Plus 6 armor piercing weapon damage for all those units. Okay. Yeah, that's on top of for the giant spiders. What would they go up to? Giant spiders, they have 25. So they go to 31. No, hang on. Yeah, 31. Okay. Plus 10% speed. That's nice, especially for the cave bats and the giant wolves. And charge bonus increase. Giant wolves, yeah, they've got 38, and that would be 12. So that would be 50. Scent of Blood. Passive ability Frenzy for all those animals. Or Army. Okay, so I don't need to be near them to have that effect on them. Recruitment cost minus 25% for units recruited from the Wild Spirits panel. Okay, so just they're cheaper to recruit as well. Okay, that's nice. With their low leadership, that's going to be kind of difficult to keep on. Let's see. I'm sure there's something else to increase their leadership around here. Nature's Vengeance. Charge bonus increase for Dryads, Treekin Treemen. Rouse to Wrath. Summons a unit Dryads. Roots of Woe. Plus 20 charge. Strength plus 10%. Pageant of Shrikes. Hex. 20 seconds. Greatly depletes ammunition. Minus 20 reload skill, minus 20% range. Oh, but these are like the spites, or like forest spirits, or like the little spites, which I read about. Some of the like your creatures can your forest spirits lords and all that can have when you recruit them. I imagine this is just a lot of little like pixies and making off with their ammunition. I like that. What's that actually say? Oh, many believe Drycha lost her mind when Morga's blood was spilt amongst the roots of the once glorious creature known as the Tree of Woe. Okay. Indoctrinator. Minus winds of magic cost for Melkos Mystifying Miasma. Also replaces Glamored with Insidious Glamour. I guess the other one is... Lord's Army. Okay, so It replaces it. This one replaces in Drycha's army. The other one is in the Lord's army. Yeah, who has that station? Shifting woods. Verdant labyrinth of the forest unsettles even the most courageous soul. Plus 15 ambush success chance. When did we start opening these up? 12. Okay. Cause fear and terror while ambushing in the forest. Lord's army. Ooh. Your entire army causes terror. That's nice. Especially with the wolves and cave bats. That's pretty nice. Befuddlement of mischiefs. Can't move. Okay, so it's just like little spikes stopping them from moving. Let's see, what's this? I got the Glade hero from Total War Access, right? I did. It should be here. Let me just check. Yep, Glade Captain. There we go. There was a bit of a snafu with that. Where when the DLC became active, I'm just explaining it for things. When the DLC was active, I did go on to Total War Access to get it. Because the Glade Captain is available on Total War Access. There are a few other things on there as well, just for people. So, if you've got that. I think there's also the Warriors of Chaos Regiments of Renown on there or something. Some other things. Anyway. Not too much, but I'd have it. I would have it, like, obtained from Total War Access, and it wasn't showing up in game. That's been fixed since, so that's nice. Natural order. Ancients, former handmaidens were once the forest's overseers, taming the winds to bring sustenance to bough and branch. This time, that time will come again. Unlocked hero recruitment branch wraith in all provinces. Minus 20% to hero action cost for branch wraith. And hero recruit rank plus 3 for branch wraith. I was saying branch wraith and branch wraith. I was just swap between different pronunciations on the fly, you know. Mantra of the Fallen. Many of the spirits Drycha believes have been failed by the Azrae, their names remembered by the enchantments of her unending mantra. Minus 8 enemy leadership for elven units, local enemy armies. Plus 8 leadership for dryads, treekin, and treemen units, Lord's army. Okay. So we can actually go in against all elves, not just wood elves. I like that. I like that it's sort of not differentiating specifically wood elves. Rather, it's just all elves deserve to die. I feel like dwarves, it should have a bit more like that. Like, dwarves just have a general aversion for all elves, not just like high elves or something. I don't know. Anyway. All elves are the same race. They are. I mean, like, faction-wise in this, sometimes the game is sort of like, oh, only specifically, like, wood elves. Whereas, I think a lot of factions outside of them don't really care. Oh dear. Pardon me. Some tea went down the wrong way. Your branch rates get random bound spell effects. Yeah, that's it. The spikes they get attached to them. Pardon me. Help! I'm being killed by my tea. You bound spell you use the most was the minus 100% fatigue direct damage ability. Ooh, that sounds nasty. Foe Seeker, Yellow Tree. That seems pretty much the same. Yeah, it's shorter. Tempered Rigor. Yeah, it's a combination of both of them. Impenetrable Bark. 30 armor. Okay, so you got to like 110 armor. 110 armor. Plus 15% extra hit points. Plus 30% extra weapon strength, so that would go up to... I'm not going to guess. My math is too bad. Don't breathe the tea, drink it. It seems like a simple thing to follow. Apparently not. I don't know. I'm not good at following instructions. I have years of experience of drinking tea. Or so I would like to claim. We got Drycha to like 60% movement bonus on the campaign map. Ooh. Sounds nice. Being able to move around a lot, yeah, that would be very nice. We've also got the Lore of Shadows here. Seems like pretty much the same. Yep, that's all the same. Yeah, I like the Withering. I did see Penumbral Pendulum got changed. It's not... it got debuffed. But that seems a bit more intense than what it apparently actually is. Apparently it was dealing like 35-35 without Overcast. That's 35 base damage and 35 armor piercing damage without Overcast. And then when you Overcast it, it did 75 base damage and 75 armor piercing damage. But I believe Overcast now it's only 35, not 35 normal damage and 75 armor piercing damage. So it's sort of specifically to be used against heavily armored units. It will do less damage. It's not so good against chaff now, is what I believe. There was also a change, I think, with the Burning Skull. I didn't look into that too much. I personally rather like spells dealing kind of a lot of damage. I kind of would prefer them to do a bit more damage than too little damage. Just because I like, you know, wiping out units with them. I don't play competitive, so... Anyway. It's not as fun seeing a spell deal damage to a unit and not seeing, like, models die. I think that's the thing I have. Where it's like, if you cast, say, not necessarily Pit of Shades, but a Vortex, you drop it on a unit, and they just sort of get tossed around, they become bloody, but none of the models die. It's just like, eh. Anyway. People more understanding of the balance of the game have better opinions than I do on those types of things. Inspiring Presence, piercing Thorns. Okay, sure. Dryads, melee attack plus 8 and weapon strength plus 12%. Bolts of the Forest, yeah, we don't have any ranged. We're trees, unless we chuck branches at them. Have a unit of like Dryads which chuck squirrels at the enemy. That doesn't affect us either because we don't have cavalry. Though it doesn't affect wolves. I suppose maybe this is the only thing which... War Dancers, Blade Singers, Wildwood Rangers. We do get the elves unit, so they still can be useful. I'll try to stick to just freaking no dirty elves in the army. Except those which we start off with. 10% physical resistance for Treekin and Treemen units. Oh, not Dryads? Okay. Wings of the Forest. Orc Riders, Great Eagles, and Forest Dragon unit. Okay. Do we get Forest Dragons? I guess we do. Sure. Shield of the Forest. Ah, there we go. 15% physical resistance for Dryads. Okay. Melee defense and armor increase as well. Nature's Quiver. Sure. Swift and Sturdy. I think we get Zotes as well. So, that would be nice. They'll be good for anti-large. Orc Riders. Yeah, again, that's sort of... Yeah, okay, so none of these specifically buff the, these. So this is the only bonuses we get for them there. Unless there's also research, which we get. I mean, they're more of a complementary aspect to our army, I suppose. Ever-reaching Tendrils, Wonders of the Forest, Nature's Soul, Obscuring Canopy. We'll be wanting this. I think I'll want to be ambushing a lot, and also Lightning Strike. Radial, Quartermaster, Home Among the Bowels. Yeah, that seems... That's all the same as it was. Okay. Now, half an hour into it. I just like being thorough about everything that we're dealing with here. Awakened Woods, Attrition. Sure. Immune to Vampiric Attrition, all armies. Ooh, that would be nice. In my Throt campaign, the vampire counts were moving up into Kislev. Minus 30% public order due to presence or lack of corruption. Sure, so we'll still have to deal with them. Why don't we start with the... I can't. Okay. What do we get? Malevolent Branch Wraith. Life, Beasts, and Shadows. Okay. We get Zotes there. Freemen. Malevolent Treekin. And Dryads. Oh yeah, we get Forest Dragons. Orc Riders. Oh, okay. So the mind control thingy doesn't show up. It only shows up when they become part of your army. So, yeah. The Hawk Riders would have that applied for them there. I assume because I have elves riding on them. Ezra Forge. Canopy of Hish. Guard Platform. Garrison. Might be nice if we have a unique garrison building, just so that we don't have elves in it. The ammunition doesn't really mean much for our army. They're not going to be making use of ranged units. The upkeep reduction's nice. And this is also, I saw this playing a Throt. It's got like a breakdown of like bonus, but I don't know where the plus 1% is coming from. Is it from here? Oh, there. Income from income generated plus 1%. So it's actually showing you like all the plus percentages to income generated. That's rather nice. Okay. Enough yakking. Let's see. What's our garrison? Wildwood Rangers. Yeah, you can see they have the Glamored there. Blade Guard, Freeman, Blade Riders. Elves. Do I want to upgrade this right now? I want Branch Wraiths. I don't want this as well. Generates income. Wine Nexus. I feel like we should have like, I don't know, fertilizer or something, rather than, you know, producing wine. Because I don't know if the trees would actually drink wine. I feel like they'd be like grinding down the bones of the people which they fight for, like, you know, blood and bone fertilizer or something. Have an entire Wood Elf roster, except you think stags and spell singers. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing... Yeah, we've got the Glade Riders with Spears. That's a new unit. Yeah, we don't have the, Yep. Okay. Yeah, that seems to be the case. Okay. There's the heavily armored, Great Stag Riders, which we don't get. Okay. Oh, that's all my money.
No, blame you.
Garrett of Mordheim. Do we We'll probably take over that. Can we get to you? We can. You know, I might want to put off building something. Yes, we do get Zotes and Tree Men at tier 3, which is quite nice. Okay, let's get these, and we'll go crush some Skaven. Oh, I didn't join the hero to my army. Oh, well. Well, whatever. We'll be able to do this without them, I think. Got a Treeman. They don't have any ranged units. I mean, they don't have any fire units. That's fine. When a body rots or not, when grapes rot, you get wine. Fermentation is just rotting. That is true. And I'm just thinking, because it's like it's a building which gives you like a trade resource, and I just imagine the trees like trading fertilizer to the other factions. I guess they can make use of it. Halflings would want it for their crops and all that. But it's like, where are you getting this from? Well, you know that scouting party which disappeared the other week? We found a use for them. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's have a look. So, we've got a purple theme to our units. I like Drycha's large claws. I kind of wish he had, like, a unique animation for standing there, at least. It looks a little odd with how big her claws are. She's got, like, the general dryad stance. Anyway. But I do like the purple coloration they've got. Looks particularly malevolent. It was appropriate. We've got the wolves. They're wolves. Not much to say about them. I think we've actually seen wolves like that in some of the mods. The elves. I like the purple on their clothes. That looks good. Not particularly good for sneaking around a forest with, but, you know. Oh, I like you. I like the pale white with you and the purple leaves. That's cool. Yeah. Nice. And the bats. Yep, they're just fell bats. I mean, there's not much you can do with a bat. Squeak, squeak, squeak. They even sound the same. Don't upgrade my dryads. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, well, whatever. We're just starting. Give me a moment to get used to things. We don't need no upgrades. We're good enough without them. Wish Drycha didn't have breasts. I don't know. She looks more tree-like than her model did. So I rather like the design. I mean, she's still clearly a dryad. There's not much I suppose you can do without her changing too much from what a dryad is. A dryad's just sort of like a twisted little forest spirit, so. At least there wasn't that many variations in the tabletop. Okay, bats, you go over here. Wolves, you can go up here. Please don't shoot my bats. No, that's chucking poison gas at my bats. Cough, cough. Escaping had a dab hand throwing that. Okay, cast that on you. Bulls! Come in. Go up there. And over there. No, my bats are flying off. Oh well. I tied them down for a bit, but yeah, because they're not undead, they don't hold as well as the, they don't hold as well as the, vampire counts ones. Makes sense. I mean, they're just bats. I don't have to remember. Oh, that's got a blast on it. Does that hurt them? Maybe. Also, I have to remember I'm playing without the permanent summons mod, which I do like, so, you know, our monsters are going to be deteriorating and disappearing eventually. Okay. Chase him off the field. Since this is... Oh, actually, this isn't a siege battle, so we should chase down and kill as many as possible, shouldn't we? Go over there. There we go. Those summons do become permanent, but like level 20. Okay. Huh. Well, that would be nice. just generally I like having the, what's it called? Permanent summons mod. I don't know. It's more fun, like, for me at least. Because you can summon just units of zombies and keep them around for the battle and bulk up your armies like that. It makes things easier, of course, certainly, but, I have my Amber Tech. Golds the skill that does it. Haven't looked at research that yet. No, I haven't. Considering 45 minutes into it and we've only just done the first battle, you know, I wanted to get things a bit underway. Let's just chase you lot down. Sometimes I feel like I spend too much time yakking about things. As I said, I like to be thorough though. What are you doing? I told you to go and chase them. Go! Chase them down. Aye, let them run away. Okay, that's fine. I mean, they're just a few scape. Fair. 20, 105, 209, 68, 120, 104. Oh yeah, you can see like... Can't you see like the value of a unit based on how much it killed? This cave bats didn't kill anything. Fine, but they did their job. That was keeping the poison winged globadiers. There we go. The poison winged globadiers busy, so they weren't gassing my dryads. Let's see. I stare at the numbers, thinking, how do I determine whether this is good or not? They dealt, 6,987 damage. Their damage value was 222. I suppose it wasn't very high damage value because they were just killing clan rats. 814. I think that's in terms of like... Is that in terms of money? How much they kill? Whatever. That doesn't really fuss me in the end. I kind of want to abduct the captives, but we should kill them. For the leadership. There we go. Kill them! Okay.
Defeating this army has benefited the local forest.
Yay.
To help it heal fully, ensure that the surrounding regions are controlled by you or an ally. Or simply raise them. Hostile borders will always cause a forest to suffer.
We can't have that. Okay, get out of here. Okay, fine. We can just attack this. Auto resolve. And yeah, we'll occupy it. Hey. Oh, it's got a little town? I feel like it should just be like a little forest tree. Like that. Anyway. Oh yeah, we could also... You could also abandon settlements. It would generate 2 income. 2 coins! So these had a bit of a rework too, I think. They don't give faction-wide bonuses anymore. But I don't think they have... They've made it any easier to hold the settlements like this. 2 Malevolent Treekin, 2 Hawk Riders, 10% casualty replenishment rate plus 5 growth all provinces. World Route Pathway, plus 20 growth all adjacent provinces, minus 50% recruitment costs local armies. Okay, so I could recruit Glade guards a bit more cheaply. Minus 1 turn for all units, local armies. Global recruitment. Okay. Sacrificial grounds. Plus 1 public order or adjacent provinces income from raising settlements. Plus 50% all forces in adjacent regions. Untainted. Plus 2. All regions in adjacent provinces. Okay, that's nice. Plus 15% income from post-battle loot. All forces in adjacent regions. Provides Garrison of war dancers and unlocks recruitment of malevolent dryads. And foraging growth. I think this was the one which had, was it this one or this one? They used to give like plus 1% bonus to missile damage and weapon damage or something. You could just stack them to the heavens. If you could hold on to the territories, that was a problem. Plus 20% growth, minus 5% construction cost for all buildings, all regions in adjacent provinces. Okay. I wonder if all these forests have the same number of adjacent provinces. I guess so. Sacrificial ground gave... gives public order. Oh yeah, it does. That's nice. They removed it, so no 1000 weapon skill. Yeah. Oh dear. I don't really know. I guess we'll get this so that we can like sack Essen and get more money. Also needling Rugenheim. It'd be nice if maybe mousing over that highlighted the neighboring regions, or like you could click on this settlement and it would like highlight all neighboring regions, because sometimes it can be a bit odd, especially amongst mountains, because the mountains extend a lot further. Teak. Is it a type of wood? Let's see. Yeah, we're going to do... I'm going to go for the withering, I think, and the penumbral pension. Hang on. Let's have a look at our technology, because I didn't look at this. Okay. So we have one amber, and I should have done this in the first turn. No, this is still the first turn. Damn it. This button. Wisdom of the Pine. Minus 15% upkeep for all Dryad, Treekin, and Treemen units. Minus 25% construction time for all buildings. Plus 10% missile resistance for Dryad, Treekin, and Treemen units. Plus 5% casualty replenishment rate in foreign territory. Ash. Plus 35% ammunition for all armies. Diplomatic relations plus 10% with all factions. Fair. Wisdom of the Yew. Yewberry infusion for Dryads, Treekin, and Treemen units. It gives poison. Ooh. Okay. So we could just give all of our tree spirit units poison. Wisdom of the Cypress. Plus 5 additional forest health from raising hearthlands. Plus 25% fire resistance for Dryad, Treekin, and Treemen units. What's our base fire weakness? 25. Okay, so that overcomes the weakness. That's pretty nice. And vigor loss reduction, minus 25% for melee infantry units. Like, it's not ranged units, but that's... All of our forest spirits are melee units. Wisdom of the Ancients. Bound spell, Flock of Doom, and minus 1 cost for Lore of Beast spells. So all the all the Ancient Treeman Lords have... Oh, that's specifically for Ancient Treeman Lords. Okay. They all have birds nesting in them. Wisdom of the Oak. Expert Charge Defense for Eternal Guard. Yeah, fine. Income from settlement buildings plus 10%. Wisdom of the Poplar. Plus 25 growth. And minus 1 recruitment duration for all units. Wisdom of the Wildwood. Plus 20% physical resistance for cave bats, feral manticores, giant spiders, great hawks, and giant wolf units. Passive ability. Passive spite ability. Murder or Spikes for malicious treemen. Causes damage to combatants. Constant around self. Ooh. Okay, so it's got a constant damage aura. That's pretty nice. I think we'll go for this one though. But the upkeep reduction will be nice since the Dryads are expensive. I need to get rid of this elf unit, the Deep Root Scouts. Ranged! What is it? Get out of here. Also, what about you? Candil. Do you have bonuses for my forest spirits? Reload time reduction. What is this? Arrow of Kurnos. Shooting branches? Base missile damage. No. 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 I feel like I should just disband you. Pottery, timber, and elven trinkets. I suppose dead wood, which is just lying on the ground. Let's start chopping down the forest. Oh, gee, what's, let's see. Oh, poison. Fire plus physical resistance plus poison plus armor. Upgrade dryads. Okay. Let's see. I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't tend to think too highly of poison. I mean, I know it's useful. What else does this do? I mean, construction time. That would also make buildings cheaper to build. Or, to make them build faster. Rather. We could also get rid of this, because we're not going to get elves. Get rid of that. Get out of here, elves. Get a craftsman tree so we get some more income. You have 2 skill points, actually, to spend. I feel like they don't make up as much of my army at the moment, so they're not going to be too useful to... Yeah, well, we can get another cave bat. They just replenish over time, do they? Oh, I don't have money for a bunch of the others. Is that cheaper to get them there? 550. Maybe? I don't know. It actually tells you the regions which surround it there. Okay. We've only got 1 treatment. Fine, we'll get the poison. Let's see. Yeah, I think we'll get that. Dryads make the most difference in our army at the moment. So we'll do that. And I suppose we'll upgrade some of you. There's a bit of money which we have left over. I should leave that until the next turn, perhaps. So that we know what we're going up against. Or will I go for Essen next and then Nagenhof? It will go this way. And then we'll go to Kappelberg and then Krugenheim. What am I going to do with you? What's your bonus? Aggressive. Weapon strength increase. And charge bonus. Get out of here. I want no stinking elves. What was I getting here? Yeah, recruitment for level at Dryads. Okay. I think that's all fine. Out of these, I don't really want the speed. Armor, perhaps. This one's more useful against infantry. Massed infantry. I mean, we're going to be going up against Empire, and they don't have cavalry yet, so... A rather large garrison. Oh, they've got guardhouse there. Okay, fine. We'll get it next time. Von Carstein declares war on Stirland. Yeah, I'm surprised actually in Throt the Unclean in my campaign as Throt.
Although Athel, Loren, and the
What do you
Oak
want?
of Ages are of utmost importance to your kind, restoring the Great Forest will require a much greater healing effort than of anywhere else. However, healing other forests will also contribute to Athel Loren's health.
Sure.
The
So,
forest lends its fauna to your cause wherever you roam.
Yeah, thanks.
Ancient One. A limited number of wild beasts and forest spirits can be swiftly summoned to your side, even when in enemy territory.
okay, fine. So you can get spiders. Sure. I can't afford any of those. So we all have this now. We cause poison. It's not that it doesn't just add poison effects. It actually adds it as an ability and an augment. Okay. Let's go over here. Hey, Empire Men, how's it going? What is our armor on these? 60. So yeah, I guess the armor would be most useful. Okay. Get some armor on them. We can change it later on. Okay. Right, Dryad problem is toughness. Yeah, I remember playing them previously, and yeah, they've got pretty good stats for melee, but they tend to die before they can really do that much damage. That was why I was like thinking of all the physical resistance to ward saves in forest battles and all that, because that made them much more you know, sturdy. Okay, wolves over here. Giant spiders, yeah, you can go behind there. And cave bats go there. Okay. Spiders are actually speed 78. Maybe hover around on their own. Let's have a look. Yeah, okay. They're purple spiders. How many eyes have they got? I'm only seeing 6 eyes. What is this? That's not a spider. Drooling all over the place. Okay. Empire Men, where are you? You gonna be like here? There you are. I see your pistoliers. Squeak. Go on. Chase their pistoliers off. Okay. Yeah, go after them. I want you to go over here. You can go that way. You can go after them. What's your speed? 90. What's the speed of my wolves? 95. So they are faster. Keep going. Keep going. I know you got caught on them. Splat! Go over there. Get him. Arrgh. Whap. Oh, Drycha, you're just standing there. Have they all broken yet? Oh. They haven't. You go after them. Fine. There we go. Did you get some healing? Why has that little heal bar appeared on your, Hang on. Blessing of the Ancients. You sure? We're going to improve power recharge rate. Oh, I didn't even check all this. Okay, there's a few extra things with, than I was expecting. Does my summon get you? Oh, I didn't check. Good leader. Thank you. I'm going to ignore that kappa. Sure. Let's occupy it again. More income. Recruit one rank +1 for cavalry units. All characters. Well, yeah. It should give us like herds of cows. Or like boars. Like wild boars or something. I don't know. Doesn't even give us a... whatever. And just get that again. Sure. Put that into Piercing Thorns again. Let's see. So what was this? Fanatical Resolve. Plus 5% base weapon damage, plus 5 melee attack. Constant target self affects allies in range. Disabled if hit points are greater than 75%. Hit points are less than 50%. Hold on. I'm just wrapping my head around that. Okay, right. So, in between having 75% health left and 50% health left, they get plus 5% base weapon damage and 5%, 5 melee attack. Then I guess it gets replaced with this. Yes. So, your stats get higher the lower her health gets. And I think... Is that only on her? Is that considering her health? I think it is. And it's giving the buff to other units? Or is it also if their health gets low, they also get a buff? Lower the HP, yeah. Is that only of Drycha? I'm sorry, I'm a bit slow on this. Or is that also like I can't tell whether it's giving Fanatical Resolve... It says 40-meter range. So whether, like, this is an effect on Drycha, which then the bonus gets applied to units around her as her health gets low, or whether it's considering it's like applying Fanatical Resolve to other units, and then when their health starts getting low, their stats get higher. I suppose. Is it only looking at Drycha's health, or is it looking at the individual units near her health? Enfeebling foes, Scepter of Stability, yeah, roused to wrath. What did you get that healing from? Or at least you had the little bar which represented, like, you had some healing on you. But I don't have anything which is, you don't have natural healing, do you? No, you don't have regeneration. It just popped up for some reason. We should actually get some campaign line of sight. System of the Eagle Lords. Beware, this makes distant foes aware of you. Provides line of sight over all magical forest regions. Okay. Well, I mean, what's that going to do? They declare war on you, and then they send their armies all the way across the map towards you? I suppose that would be a problem. Elenil, Lord of Destruction. Your income from raising settlements. Bonus versus large. Missile strength increase. Akira. Enemy units are affected with temporary defensive penalties at the beginning of ambush battle. Ambush success chance plus 20%. Wukon, the Sunderer. 5% speed increase and charge bonus increase for Zotes, Treemen, and Forest Dragon. Eldrazi. Bonus for elves. Okay. Adaoth. Fire resistance for elves. And plus 15% weapon strength for forest dragons, units and mounts. 30. Diplomatic relations. Plus 10 with dark elves. What? Ereth Kial. Untainted plus 4. Casualty replenishment plus 10%. Akati. Winter magic increase and minus 10% cooldown to Lore of Dark Magic spells. Lore of Dark Magic? I don't think we do. Kitharai. War of Diplomatic Relations with Dark Elves. -1 Lore. Winds of Magic cost 4. Lore of Shadows. Lore of Dark Magic. That would go well with Drycha's general off with that. Ignoring the Diplomatic Relations bonus with Dark Elves there. Global Recruitment Duration -1 turn for all units. Spell Singer, you think? Yeah. Right. Okay, so that's not too useful for us, the Lore of Dark Magic reduction. Vol the Maker, plus 10% income from resource and crafting, plus 10 armor for elf units and cavalry units. Missile resistance increase, -10% cooldown for Lore of Shadows. Campaign movement range plus 5%. Evasion chance with using world routes plus 20%. Diplomatic relations with Bretonia. Income from grapevine buildings plus 5%. Casualty replenishment rate plus 5% for Dryad, Treekin, and Treeman units. 10% cooldown for Lore of Life spells. Recruit rank bonus. Immunity to storm and reef attrition. Income from ports 100%. Plus 10% income from hunting buildings. Sure, that increases weapon strength for hawk and eagle units. I mean, eagle units is useful. Send a charge bonus. -10% upkeep for all elf units. What's the penalty we pay? 10%. That would actually put them on, like, normal upkeep cost. Which, you know, I suppose if you really wanted elf units, that would be one way to get about it. I feel like the upkeep cost should be a bit more than that. Like Skarsnik Scott. What's the upkeep cost on his greenskin units? On his orc units? Winter Magic starting amount plus 10 for all armies. Plus 15 diplomatic relations for high elves. -10% cooldown for high magic skills. -15% construction cost for all buildings. Winter Magic start, yeah. But Kane the Bloody Handed. +2 recruit rank for all units. Heroic killing blow for all Glade lords and Glade captains. And cause fear for all elf units. Okay. And Kadai. +1 forest health per turn to all owned magical forests. Diplomatic relations plus 15 with high elves. And winter magic cost -1 for Lore of Life and Lore of High Magic. The hero gets 2 darkness. Don't use elves. No, I don't. Anything to do with elves, it's just like, fair. What is this? I guess we'll go for increased income from raising. Seems as good a thing as any. Yes, okay. Also, I'm just gonna pause the recording here and I'm gonna take a brief break, so I'll just pause it. Okay, and we're back. So, let's see. I have 1,200 food. Gold. Let's recruit some more of them. I think I want to fill out my army more than anything else at the moment. Yep, that's fine. End turn. We've got raiding in Essen. Okay. Oh yeah, this thing.
Nearby. Aggressions against the forest are not uncommon, but some threats are more pressing than others. This particular attack is imminent. Send an army to disrupt these aggressors before they reach full strength.
Okay. The forest hungers. Your eyes and ears at the edge of the forest have alerted you to the presence of militiamen who are mustering in a nearby camp. You have dealt with the men of the old world before, given your previous blood-soaked forays into the lands. They are right to fear your kind. It would be wise to attack first before they reach full strength. Show them once again that the spirits of the forest are not to be trifled with.
Mighty tree spirit, the others who walk in your stead can be gifted aspects of the elders, granting them benefits that will improve their battle capabilities.
Yep. These things. Okay. Should we go and deal with? Let's get another unit of cave bats, and then we'll force march over to the Griffin Wood. Okay, I guess we'll deal with this. It will appear in 3 turns. Oh, it actually tells you. Move a force here to attempt to ambush the foe. Even if you are defeated, they may be prevented from reaching full strength. Okay. Raiding. Get out of my forest! Okay. Oh, it's actually changed color. I suppose to denote how imminent it is. I suppose maybe if we got it on the first turn, it would have actually have been it would have been weaker still. Well, I'm not on top of it yet. Right. Okay, we're right there. Guess we one more turn. Ooh, we can get a Great Hawk. Oh. End turn. And we'll get that next turn. Yes. Okay. What's ready to launch? Okay, it doesn't look like it gets it. This doesn't look like it's changed from what it would have been earlier levels, but maybe it has. Failed to spot my ambush. Let's go. Attack these Empire men. Wolfgang Schumacher. What they got? Halberds, swordsmen, 2 spears, 3 company militia, 2 Reichsguard, and Empire Knights. Pistoliers and what was it? 2 cannons? Yeah, 2 cannons. Okay. Reichsguard Knights. Yeah, they're the most powerful thing in there. Okay. I kind of feel like they should more use the Empire Knights than Reichsguard Knights. I don't think Reichsguard Knights are supposed to be as numerous as they seem to be sometimes. Hold on. Ah, okay. You can go there. Ooh, hey, actually, oh, the Great Hawks. I thought it was. So they're Great Hawks, not Great Eagles. I thought they were Great Eagles. Do we get Great Eagles as well? I thought this was a singular unit. Huh. Okay, and the bats. Not the bats. There we go. You can head them. You're on your own, and you, and there we go. Giant spiders are just armor piercing. Yeah, I want you to chase those pistoliers. Get the cannons. Stop the Empire Knights from running around all over the place. It's messy. Squawk, 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 squawk. Have they fled? Chase them down. They're wavering. Come back here. Actually, they're gonna rally, so... come back. Like that. Cast another Mystifying Miasma on them. They got terrified. But they don't have immune psychology? No, they don't. Or Empire Knights. Get out of here. Where are you? There you are. Go over there. I do like the look of her. Okay. That went pretty well. I guess it prevented from a full stack army from attacking our settlement, which is nice. Can we see anything around here? No. Decisive victory. We lost 30. They're probably all cave bats. Yeah, 23 kills for the Reichsguard. Those are the cave bats I said after the... You didn't lose any Dryads, I don't think. Maybe 1. Or 2. Or 3. Pretty good job. Yeah, let's see. 73, 73, 73. Yeah, okay. Pretty good. Let's release the captives. I feel like I should be killing them all the time. To be in theme. You're not going to disappear?
I will not obey.
Are you going to disappear next turn, or do I have to hunt you down? I'm going to hunt you down just to make sure. Kill the captives. I feel like he should have just disappeared, because he's specifically for a mission, isn't he? Otherwise, it's not... Okay, it's not Reichland. It's Imperial Reprisal Force. Even though the icon is the same as the Empire, or Reichland. The faction emblem here is the same as Reichland. It's not actually Reichland, so it's not like Reichland's getting free armies. Rather, there would be a new faction on the map. Let's get the Skewering Branch and Piercing Thorns. Here. Oh! Okay, I need growth for these buildings. Huh. Well, not for this. But for these I do. Okay. 10 turns. Well, in that case, I kind of want to be stacking growth so I can build up my buildings faster. That's not giving growth. We can't get a branch wraith, can we? Yeah, we can. Let's see, what can we get? Lore of Beasts, Lore of Shadows, Lore of Life. Mentioned, Lore of Beasts is Wissen's Wildfall. Should be rather nice. Plus 30 armor, plus 30% base weapon damage in an area of effect for all of our units. This also. Extra physical resistance and increase to speed. What have you got? Lamentation of Despairs. The Despairs are often the most fierce sprites within Athaloran. Their arrival always foretelling imminent death. 10% ward save. And it gives Lamentation of Despairs, which is a magic missile. Oh, that's Durthu's ability, isn't it? His Sword of Death gave him Lamentation of Despair. Yeah, causes armor piercing damage, strong versus a single unit, good from a high angle. Annoyance of Netlings. Scurrying over the host with feverish abandon, Netlings snag the weapons of enemies that come too close with webs of magical filaments. Block army action, movement range is modified by an additional minus 15%. Okay, so you could really catch enemy armies a bit better with that. Constant around self, minus 10% base weapon damage, minus 5 melee attack, and minus 10% armor piercing weapon damage. Okay, so it just lowers, like, damage a little bit around them. What have you got? Blight of Terrors. Mirthfully looming out from their host, terrors take on the most fearsome aspects to dampen the spirits of their horrified prey. Ability Blight of Terrors. Also, they cause terror. Minus 16 leadership for 20 seconds around self. Affects enemies in range. Okay, so it's just a minus 16 leadership debuff. That's pretty nice. 3 casts of it during a battle. It's not constant. But, actually, that like... Lore of Death? Yeah, that's basically a Doom of Darkness. 3 casts of a Doom and Darkness. 40 meter range. 40 meter range. It's Doom and Darkness whenever you want it. Overcast. Pretty nice. I do like Doom and Darkness a lot. We don't actually get Lore of Death. I suppose that's not really appropriate for the forest spirits. Resplendent of Luminescence. Bounding from branch to bough. The luminescence magical spores alight. Spores? Alight upon allies' weapons to bestow a minor but lethal enchantment. Minus 25 magic resistance for local enemy armies. Couple that with Drycha's one, and you'd be able to get through the magic resistance of dwarves. Pretty nicely. Constant effect on self. Affects allies in range. Plus 10% base weapon damage, plus 5 melee attack, and plus 10% armor piercing weapon damage. That's actually the opposite of Annoyance of Netlings. Yeah, okay. So you can buff your units the same. Actually might be more useful than that. I mean, the percentage-based ones would affect the enemy differently depending on how much they had. Magic resistance. What's these ones? Pageant of Shrikes. Shrikes take on various frightening forms, moving like quicksilver to target the eyes and even enter foes' bodies to attack their very minds. Thanks, Drycha. Plus 50 armor-piercing weapon damage. And Pageant of Shrikes. Oh yes, that's the one which Drycha has. Which removes the ammunition from a unit and lowers their... yeah, this here. She doesn't get the armor piercing on it, though I suppose she already has a fair bit of armor piercing. 105. So, yeah, okay. And the other one was Murderous Spikes. Hiding in their hosts' hollows and fiendish forms, ready to strike out at any who draw near. Plus 15% weapon strength, enables poison attacks, and ability Murderous Spikes, which is a constant around self, causes damage to combatants. 40 meters. Active if in melee. Okay, that's pretty good. Just cause constant damage around self. I think... kind of want to get this one. Even though it's Law of Shadows, we'd be doubling up on it. How many of these can I get? 2. We wouldn't be able to afford that because it would be 500. I think I get this one. Lamentation of Despair's Magic Missile. It doesn't actually have a limited number of casts. It's just every 90 seconds you can use a Magic Missile. 80 meter range. As far as Durthus is? I feel like he's maybe got a bit of a further cast than that. I think I'll get the Annoyance of Netling one, because I do want to lure beasts. I don't want to double up on my magic yet, so we'll get Cesteshal. We can give you a Power Stone, I guess. What have you got? Flurry of Bowels. Leadership plus 6 during forest battles. Nettles of Malice plus 8 melee attack during forest battles. Predator's Instinct. I think these are the same. They're just like... this one's just sort of named after the spikes rather than, I think, just like nature or something. 10% extra chance to wound. Plus 8 melee attack, plus 15 weapon strength. Or of beasts. That's the same. You can get an aspect on them. Okay, so it's a permanent aspect. Plus 35 armor, minus 15% speed. Plus 35 armor piercing weapon damage, minus 10% physical resistance. Or plus 15% physical resistance, minus 20 armor. But you could actually overcome the penalty by getting impenetrable bark. I'll give you a plus 10. So if you went with this, you would get, what? Plus 65 armor. Which will put you up at 125 armor. Which is quite a bit. Call of the Woods, Howl of the Forest. That's the same. Replenish, stimulate, growth, damage walls. Ugh, pardon me. I do like the damage walls ability. That was rather useful when I was playing as Durthu. The Dryads also got a... or the... no, not Dryads. What are you? Branch Wraith. They also got like a skill where they were able to break down an extra section of wall after they had done it a few times, which was quite nice. Okay. End turn. I guess we'll go over to Needling, and then we'll go out to Beckhafen. And Kappelberg or something. Raid the following region, Middenheim. Nearly all the way over there. Within Athelor, Drycha's association with the vengeful treatment elder known as Coadil is no secret. His great betrayal of the Azrae has not been forgotten, and the forests whisper that his wrath will never be subdued. While he roams imprisoned in the Wildwood with these dryad handmaidens, Drycha's Wargrove determinedly carries out his malevolent decrees in the outside world. There is little doubt that Coadil deserves to be free once again, however, and none are more aware of this than Drycha herself. While in communion with the Great Elder over the many centuries since its confinement, she has rampaged across the old world to gather a plethora of powerful relics from the realms of men. Relics which will enable her to shatter the wards imbued into the waystones which bind Coadil to the Wildwood. Only the final few relics which Drycha requires to complete her task remain ungathered. The Fang of Talroth, known to be located somewhere deep within the Empire, hums an earthy tune to her that calls out in the darkness. Drycha knows the direction she must travel, but is unaware of the relic's exact location. From the fringes of the Great Dracoan Forest to the Forest of Arden, Drycha's bloody exploits are well known among men. But now it is the turn of the people of Middenland who bear witness to her atrocities with their own eyes. Okay, so that's actually her item requirement. Or rather, I suppose the item you're getting, the reward you're getting is Coadil. The artifact is just a side effect of that. Okay, nice. Yeah, sure, we'll go up to Drakira. Oh yes, and this forest region, it actually slows you down a lot when you travel through it. It's like really, really difficult terrain. I'll move you to there, and I'll join you up with the army. I wonder if it would be possible to change the campaign map so that when the Wood Elves take over a region, you get more forest areas around to lay an ambush. Like it actually changes the terrain. Because, you know, here's grassland, here's forest, like forest. Drycha, stop screaming. That's only for local armies. The extra. Okay, fine. End turn. I mean, I guess they can't, because it's like painted on. I guess it would be painted regions. Imperial Convoy. Where is... Here. Okay. Go here. There is a bridge there, isn't there? Yes, there is. Blah. Can you not stack the bonuses of these? I guess maybe it's meaning... All regions and adjacent provinces. Hold on. Wait, that doesn't count as an adjacent province? What about Templehof? That doesn't count as an adjacent province either? All regions in adjacent provinces. Local populace. Is that working? +2, untainted. All regions in adjacent provinces. +4 from buildings and in commandments. And +1 from native population. Let's see. We don't actually have, we don't have the commandments down here. So that's not giving us any untainted. That's not giving us any untainted. That's not giving us any untainted. So this is giving untainted +2, untainted +2. So that's giving +4 buildings and enchantment untainted there. Is it affecting up there? Apparently it is, because there's a +2 buildings and commandments up there too. And over there. And there. Not here though. That 4 for local populace? Guess so. But it's not affecting down here. Seems like it would. Because, I mean, that is a neighboring province. Though, I guess if it did, it would really mess up the vampire counts. Okay, enter. Clan Boulder declares war on Kislev. Sylvania declares war on Sturland. Talabakalan declares war on Sturland. Everyone hates Sturland. Widrioth declares war on Clan Spittle. Do you have a garrison in here? No.
I will not obey.
Got a bunch of swordsmen in there. Do I want to get anything else in my army? Let's see. Great Hawks. Oh, right. I was going to check. Do we get Great Hawks only, or do we get... We can't get Great Eagles there. Okay. Right, okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Great Eagles. Not Great Hawks. I mean, it's nice having Great Hawks. Units of flying... A unit of flying monsters, or whatever. Cool. Did I get that for some Great Eagles? I do like them. Ages till we get that. This doesn't cost me any kindred growth. So sure, do that. If I spend 1,050 on the... Sure, we get aspect of the oak. Get armor. Let's go and attack you. Hello humans, how's it going? Your corpses will nourish the forest. We will plant you around your giant statue to Sigmar. Come on, more winds of magic. Damn it, Ronald. Okay, you can go over there. You can go there. Go there. Do you give it courage? No, you don't. Okay. I'm gonna put you all up over here. Oh yes, flying units can't hide in forests. I remember reading the patch notes and it was actually saying about like some flying units I think were able to hide in forests. I can't remember which ones. And there was also things like, oh, what was it? It was like the Casket of Souls was able to hide in a forest. Lich Priests and the Casket of Souls could hide. The forest on top of it. They're like, no matter how much they may wish it, they cannot hide the fact that they are standing on a screaming, like, sarcophagus, a sarcophagus full of screaming souls, rattling around on a pile of bones. Okay. move all back here. No, my bats! No! I don't want you to fly in against them. Whatever. Go over there. Though once I'm kind of surprised at some of the units which could actually hide in forests. Because they had trolls on that list. And I guess it makes sense because trolls would like lay ambush, but at the same time I thought trolls would have been too stupid to really lay to really hide in a forest, but base cunning. I think I need to start summoning those dryads on top of enemy units. If that blast effect deals damage. Go chase them down. No, run away! Where's Drycha? Cheers. Arg! That's pretty good shot of her. Again, I do like the claws. I kind of wish, as I said earlier, she had unique animations. Just because the base dryad animations don't really suit her claws, I feel. I'd imagine her more hunched over and sort of... well, like she looks like in her Lord selection screen. Anyway. Run! Run, cowardly humans! The rage of the forest is here. Why did I Vanguard? Did I not? Did I really just line my guys up? I thought I did Vanguard. Whatever. Better. Trolls can ambush and they know how to hide. Yeah, I mean, they're stupid, but you know, they would have like base cunning. Sort of what I was thinking. It's like, I don't know. I can't remember whether on tabletop, whether they could like, well, they were large in that, so they couldn't really hide behind terrain. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Decisive victory. No. We don't have to hunt them all down. 48 losses. 100, 125, 50, 61, 11. 23 kills for Drycha. I do like the patch notes that Creative Assembly writes, so there's a few funny things in there. They were calling Cutep DJ Cutep. I like that. And just imagining him now with these Casket of Souls changed to a big mix table. That's why Cetra banished him, because his beats were too sick. Occupy Hearthland. Was keeping him up all night. Yeah, we're gonna need more growth. So get this one now. I will get Wissen's Wild Form. And on you, I will get... Treekin and Treemen. Armor. We don't have any Treekin. I'm going to get that, but I think I'm going to wait on that. It's not immediately useful for us. Get this. I feel like you'd end up phasing out some of these in your armies. Maybe. I still don't really want to build this, because it's got elves in it. I wish the garrison was just purely forest spirits. At least for us. I should get it just so that we're better defended. It's odd that it just gives ammunition reload time reduction. It doesn't like give us any benefits. Whatever. Dogger. What's this say? This is a hostile hearthland. It will drain the health of the nearby magical forest while occupied by an enemy. Work towards peace with its owner or drive them out. This is a neutral hearthland. It has no effect on the health of the nearby magical forest. Occupy or raise it, or ally with its owner, and it will begin to provide benefits. Okay, we're actually getting health here now. Yeah, +2 per turn. Okay. I wonder if the enemy should have buildings which could actually, like, lower the forest health more. Oh, corruption lowers it. Unresolved encounters lowers it. Okay. So when chaos comes around, it's going to be harder to keep your trees healthy. That makes sense. Also, vampire counts. I guess they'd be killing the land. And Skaven corruption. I suppose Skaven would be gnawing on all the roots. That's appropriate. Hey, Wolfram Hurtwig. The sword becomes blunted for constant use. The hammer weighs heavy. Now is the time to consider peace, please. Oh. Sylvania declares war on Carrick Cadrin. Hochland declares war on the Redhorn tribe. Osland declares war on the Redhorn tribe. And Whistleland declares war on Stirland. More people declared war on Stirland. What's this? Ecocide. As it has always been since their primitive parasitic kind first started building the cities and polluting the lands with their presence, men of the Empire encroach upon the forest from all sides. As they tear the trees from the land and brazenly plough fertile soil that would otherwise be home to our beloved saplings, you hear the pain of the insentient flora cry out to you. In seeking vengeance, the Wargrove has snatched some of these Empire men alive, and they are dragged before you screaming and terrified for their lives, just as it should be. What will you do with them? Send a message. Leave their mutilated corpses at the edge of the forest as a warning to the rest of them to encroach no further. The men of the Empire must always be reminded that Deadwood is all they may take, or they shall die. Minus 50% campaign movement range for enemy armies starting their turn in your regions. Minus 8 enemy leadership. Make fertilizer of them. Bury them alive so that they may experience an agonizing death and let new trees take root from their rotting corpses. Public order +5 and growth +10. All provinces. I do kind of need more growth, but the enemy leadership would be nice during the siege coming siege. I'm glad we don't have an option to like let them go here. It's odd that it's not giving us any like diplomatic penalties. I guess it's just indescript men of the Empire rather than a certain faction. I mean, that's kind of the boring one. Though they're not in my forest. Oh no, that's all regions. What would that be? That would be +30 growth. Would that make much of a difference? For 10 turns. Okay, send a message. There is another encounter up here. Let's go over to here. And we'll lay an ambush. 3 turns, fine. Wouldn't have been that much of a decrease in time anyway. That's what I was hoping would happen. Oh, hello. Empire men, how's it going?
The deepest world roots are known as the Deep Roots, which your forces can use to travel great distances. Any army in a forest region can travel to another, but after traversing the Deep Roots, it will be some time before another journey can be made.
Okay, that's telling us about the whole... You could teleport your army from one place to another, so we could teleport them up here if we wished. They actually have different icons above them? Oh no. Hello! This forest actually wasn't a forest, it was a bunch of murderous trees. Foolish man thing. It'll make the coming siege easier. And we'll get to use that -8 leadership. as we fight on the side of a hill. What is this? We're playing Warhammer 2, not like Medieval 2. So many battles in mountains taking place on sheer cliff faces. I still need to do a stream of Medieval 2. Oh, it's been ages since I've played that. Which is odd because it's not really been that long since I started playing these games. But, what, I get it back in like 2011 or something like that? Wasn't really that long ago. 9 years now, I suppose, but let's not think about that. It's just when the new ones come out, you don't play the old ones, so, you know. March up. Okay. Oh, they're all tied too, because they were force marching. Ha ha ha. Yeah, let's see. Does this deal damage? No, it doesn't seem to. Okay. A bit of a shame. Is anyone getting away? There we go. Oh, you're finished there. Squawk! Get them. Wolves. Chase after them. Bark, bark. Come on. Click on the banners. There we go. And there. You're there. Hunt down them. I want to chase as many of these around off the map as possible. No, no, go after them. How's 110 armor? Dryad's feeling. Well, we've got 80 armor at the moment. We haven't got 110. We're getting there. They're certainly tough. We're not losing that many. 3, along with the physical resistance. And the poison. I guess the poison's nice. It's not really something I can quantify. But I'm sure it's having an effect. Which is, you know, quite nice. Ugh. Did I show the Empire stats? Do you mean like their skills or something? I don't know. They're what do you mean by that exactly? Remaining. Only one guy remaining. Poor Wolfram Hurtwig. Lost his entire arm. What was that one from like Roman times where the Empire, where the Legion got killed in the forest? Battle of Teutoburg Forest. Kill them. I could have got money, but you know, kill them. Man's ruin. Yay. I am going to get all of the woods. I think. Actually, I'm gonna get damage walls because I do like damage walls. That's useful. What's this? Griffin Wood. A Strigoi Ghoul King, along with his cannibalistic retinue, has been spotted in the forest. Though monstrous in form, their tale is pitiful. Persecuted by their brethren, they are fleeing in search of sanctuary, so it does not seem that they intend to stay long in the forest. By observing them from a distance, you could show your forces that they are nothing to be... Show your forces that they have nothing to fear from these wretches, or you could punish them for their desecration, as the forest spirits would no doubt insist. Yeah, spare them. Vampires spared. Plus 50 diplomatic relations and vampire counts. I don't... Yeah, I guess. I don't see why they'd really care. Vampire counts only really care about each themselves, don't they? Minus 10 leadership. Yeah, no. We're not going to be doing that. Plus 10 forest growth. Immune to psychology when fighting against vampire counts. Vampire Coast and Tomb Kings. Attack them. Vampires punished. Abundant growth. Slay the intruders. These foul creatures are nothing to fear. Decide later. You do not have time for this right now. Let's see. Minus 20. Plus 10 leadership for Dryad, Treekins, and Treeman units. Growth plus 10. Public order plus 5. All provinces. Yeah, we'll get that. Attack them! That's actually quite a large army. Fritz Barichmer. Yeah, crypt ghouls, direwolves, fellbats, Vargeists, and 4 crypt horrors. It's not a small army. Okay, I guess I could have a look at what their fellbat stats are. No armor, no armor. 54 leadership, they have 30 leadership, so we actually have more leadership on our cave bats than fellbats do generally. 110 speed, 116. Okay, I think it's about the same, minusing the bonus. 14 melee attack. 40 melee attack. 44 melee defense. 44 melee defense. 22 weapon strength. 25 weapon strength. I guess that's the same. 12 charge bonus. 6 charge bonus. Again, a bonus, so they're probably exactly the same, except the leadership's higher. You want vampires to be friends, you find a lot of empire. That plus 50 is really good random boosted diplomacy. Maybe, but, you know, I'm going to be playing it so that, kill everything. Is it advisable? No, whatever. Suffer not anything except forest spirits to live. Okay. What's the army's name? You can actually see. Oh, it's just like vampire counts, blah blah, something or other faction. I've seen that icon before. Yes, it was very descriptive. Think of mine. They call sphere. We call sphere as well, so... Yeah. Do we actually have the same... Yeah, we've got the same health. Exactly the same. I didn't really expect them to be different. You go over there. You go there. There we go. Like that. There. There. Wolves. Fellbats. Not fellbats. Cave bats. They're different. Ours aren't dead. There we go. This is why we're killing them, because they're killing the animals, so we can't have that. They got Vargeists. They're nasty. Yeah. Kill those Vargeists. Oof. Also, we did have charge defense, didn't we? Whatever. Oh, and they're direwolves. How are they different? Our giant wolves are not direwolves. Direwolves. They have no armor. We've got 15 armor. More leadership. Direwolves are actually slower than us, but I think they had the same base speed. Same melee attack. Maybe a bit less melee defense. A lot less weapon strength. And minus 20 charge. Okay. Yeah, wolves are better. And we both cause fear, so we're not going to be worried about the spookiness of the undead direwolves. What are you doing just standing around, lad? Get in there. Descend on them! Kill the cryptors with bats! Ah! Squawk, 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 squawk. Okay, come over here. And you're gonna go and attack them. Go attack them. Hey Drycha, could you duel a Strigoi for me? About as big as a Strigoi. Smack. Oh yeah, she's got an ability. She's got animations where she summons like roots out of the ground. That's pretty cool. Smack. Get out of here. There we go. And then the undead collapse. Kill for the oak. Ooh, one of our dryads got hit pretty hard. Oh well. We lost 171, and so we had 800 remaining. A nice round number. How would abducting undead captives help us? I suppose they're pre-rotten. We can just like use them as fertilizer. Now, are you going to disappear? No, you're not. Are you going to disappear come turnover? Let's get Panzer Penetrable. Don't have Treekin, so that's not useful. Get that. Okay, fine. Enter. So, are you going to disappear, or? It's kind of annoying if I have to chase them down afterwards, especially because their armies spawn through missions. Trade agreement? I won't trade with humans. Oh, you're going to attack me again. If you're going to just attack me, then maybe it's alright. You just run off again. Get back here. The army really should be deleted as soon as it finishes. That's what happens with the land encounters. Oh hey, we've gone up a level there. Race of the Frozen Heart. Dryads. Exiled on their own accord from the Frosty Cage to the Winter Heart, these Dryads carry the biting chill of their home realm. Yeah, I saw these. They're also Winter Heart guards. So we can get Dryads which have Frostbite, which is pretty nice. They also have Frenzy. Because they count as malevolent, I guess. They have Frenzy even for other factions? And impenetrable pelt and damage walls level 2. And on you, I'm going to get the Withering and the Penumbral Pendulum. Okay, let's go back to the Griffinwood. I'll just combine you all. And, ooh. You know what? How many units of Dryads do I want to get rid of? I'll get rid of a unit of giant wolves and cave bats. And replace them with Treekin. There we go. How expensive are those actually? 200. Okay, we can afford that. Just. And here I am going to get Trapper's Den for the growth in turn. Sorry, I'm not keeping up with messages. More Dryads equal good. Yeah, I like... Ooh, united against us, Osland. Great. What's this? Enriched Bewitchment. The spell that holds the elves under the Wargrove's control is not as strong as it once was. Well, that doesn't matter, we don't have any elves in our army. But recently, the winds have been blowing unusually strong overhead. I suppose there's some elves in the forest or something, though they're not in our army. The branch wraiths sense it, informing you that now is an opportunistic moment to harness the magical eddies to reinforce the glamoring enchantment being used on your elf units, at least temporarily. However, it can also be used to be siphoned to invigorate the elf souls that inhabit the Wargrove's Treekin, which would also be invaluable for the coming struggles. Which course of action will you take? Reinforce the elves. Reinforce the spell. The power of the elves' bewitchment should be boosted if they are to adequately fulfill their use to the Wargroves. Increases upkeep cost for forest spirit units. Plus 8 melee defense for elf units. Minus 20% recruitment costs for elf. Empowered to Treekin. It is better to invest magic into elf souls now manifested as tree spirits than elves themselves. Upkeep plus 10% for all elf units. Recruitment cost minus 20% for Dryad, Treekin, and Treemen units. Well, that would be nice to have the previous turn. Plus 8 melee defense for Dryads, Treekin, Treemen. Sure. We don't have any elves in our army, so it doesn't matter. Oh, that means that I can use the deep roots. Sure. We won't be doing that. We'll keep fighting around here. Throw the bats. Yeah, I like having the bats to attack walls. Since we're going to be attacking Beckhafen. I want to keep them just to keep their ranged occupied on the walls. Ugh, look at those filthy elves in my garrison. So, ugh. And we could... Do we do something with this, or... It does it automatically, I think. Yeah, it's highlighting, but yeah, you don't need to click it or something. Until it's completely done, and then you can cast a Ritual of Rebirth. Okay. We're inadvertently helping elves by growing this forest. I should get rid of one of you and replace you with the Regiment of Renown, shouldn't I? Yeah. It's going to make me really low on income, but let's do that. Go. Can give you an aspect as well. Yeah, sure. Give you the same as the others. And I will move you up to here. Oh, hello! Multiple armies. Valmir Orokov. You have an army of swordsmen.
No, I'll ignore that.
And archers. You know, I'm not actually that concerned about that army. Filthy health. Oh, you're not going to attack me. They're just moving around. Do I have to go back and defend my settlement? Ugh. What is this? Do you have a garrison?
No.
Gonna attack Naganhof. Actually, we do have a bit of a garrison in there. Let's see. 3 malevolent dryads, 2 deepwood scouts, 2 glade guards, glade riders, and giant eagle.
Not likely.
I could maybe deal with that.
By Sigma, no.
Yeah, Drycha, stop screaming. Let's see.
Impossible. I cannot.
Okay. Go up there. Success! Let's get... Wizard's Wand. Got holes in the walls now. We lose the hero, but that makes things quite a bit easier for us. 4 breaches. 4 great big dirty holes to walk through their walls with. Charge through their walls with. Lose the hero in the process, though. I kind of wish you could just add the hero to your army again afterwards or something. I don't know. The hero does give more utility, but... eh. Okay, well the damage is over here too. I don't think it damaged any of the towers. Sometimes it does. Okay, we've also got Treekin. Like that. Let's have a look at our Treekin. They're purple. And I've got white wood coloured. I like that. Yeah, they look pretty much the same. Did they have some different animations? I don't know. Seem a little bit more animate than what I remember. Oh. What are you doing all over there? Come on. Yes, guard that gate. Yeah. Also just means they won't put units up on the walls, so these towers are inactive, because for some reason they don't like sitting there. Get out of here. I actually group you all together because you're flying. Helmetiers, where are you going? There was a, you know, there was a wall to defend. Oh, go and attack him. Just a moment. Out of here, you. Oh, bots. Okay, charge in. Right. This doesn't... So this should deal the same amount of damage it usually does. Yep. It's fine. It's just... Well, actually... No, kind of surprising it did that, because they don't have that much armor. Charge up there. Get them. Charge over here. Oh, deep city. Hello, welcome, welcome. New campaign time? Yep. New DLC came out, so we're having some fun with one of the characters which came out actually for free, rather than any of the characters which came out with the DLC. But we're seeing the update for the Wood Elves, so we're playing as Drycha, a very angry tree spirit. Over here. Where is she? She's somewhere around here. There she is. And we're crushing all the humans because, you know, they do bad things to the forest, so. We're actually also playing without any mods, which is quite different from what I usually do, but I wanted to give some time for the mods to get updated. Okay, charge up there. We've got an army made up of forest spirits along with a bunch of animals, which we've gotten to work with us. Giant hawks, cave bats, giant spiders, and giant wolves. So, the forests are very angry. Get out of here, you. It's actually interesting how quick that summon is, because there was a change for the Skaven where their menace from below now has a build-up time of about 5 seconds or so. Whereas playing as Throt the Unclean, you can get, well, you can get Packmasters as the Skaven now with the DLC, and they have the summon, they can summon packs of what are they called? Summon packs of wolf rats, and they can get 4 casts of that. 2 casts of 2 different types. One is a armor piercing variant with magical attacks, and the other one is a poison affected one, but they can summon 4 units of them, and they're instant summons too. So replace the clan rat summons with wolf rats, which in some ways are more useful because they're faster. There we go. Not to mention you still have menace below, even if it takes a little bit more time for them to appear. And Throt can summon units of rat ogres. I think he ends up being able to summon like maybe 3, along with an upgrade for the laboratory he's got. So instant summon rat ogres on the battlefield, that's pretty powerful as well. Along with all the other gribblies you have along with it. 80 losses. Nice. Oh yeah, I think we don't lose the growth for the settlement if the forest is raised. Right. I kind of want to occupy it again. We get a lot for clearing it. But that just means that the Empire will probably settle it again. However, there was a change in the patch where they shouldn't be as aggressive for resettling territory. Let's do that. Boom. Why do you go all the way over there? You want to go to the river for a drink. Okay. We can upgrade this now. Sure. 10 turns. Is that just how it is? That's where those, like, reduction to build times would be useful, because 10 turns is a long time. Okay. Turn. Bone Rattlers declare war on Kislev. Maternus Herman is attacking the settlement garrison over here. Katra. Yeah, we don't actually get a treatment in this army. That would be nice. Why is my army injured slightly? I suppose it's just because turns since we took it. I'll try and win this. Oh, interesting. It's this map. I thought it would be different. For wood elves.
Deepwood infantry.
Put you over here. Like guard can't vanguard deploy. What is this? Go over there. Neither can the eagle. And the eagle can't hide in the forest, so whatever. You're Katra, so you're my general. I'll put you behind them. You two, you two, you two, and you two. What am I going to do with you two archers? I guess force march you over here. Okay. So what are we going to want to do? Pick them apart from a distance. First. Go after their archers. And get rid of their general. Oh, they've spotted us.
Very well. As you say.
Aha! Don't shoot my bird.
My Kernos.
Oh, bird.
Glade riders.
Go over here.
Riders ready.
Back up. Yep. Go back over here. Oh, actually, look at that. Yeah, they do get the Uberry infusion. And that's nice. Again, it's got the healing bar. Why's that appearing? Charge around here. Come on.
Yes. Missiles ready. Death to our enemy. Archers ready.
Ow.
Weapons ready. Swift. Onward. Hurry.
Armed and ready. For the eternal realm. Deepwood archers.
Glade riders. Now.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Armed and ready.
At once. At speed.
How's my bird going? Not very well. Get out of there.
Archers ready!
For Our Lady.
Our bows are yours! Dauntless as
Actually, let's put you in the forest.
Ready and able.
bows of Athelloran!
Glade Riders.
You didn't even really hurt their lord. I suppose you didn't get a hit off on them?
Glade guard!
Armed and ready.
Okay,
Cavalry.
good. Chase them down.
Fire!
Bows of Athelloran.
Quickly!
Run away. You're a melee.
At speed!
Actually, go and attack them.
Defenders of Athelloran!
How's our dryads going? Need to support them soon.
Bowman ready! Fight men! Fight for us!
Okay, good, good. A few more of them. Go, go.
This instant!
They dead yet?
Protectors of the forest.
Deepwood archers!
Okay. Chase them down.
Warriors of Ariel!
Good.
Glade guard!
Okay.
Children of Isha! Attack! Quickly!
Glade Riders.
I want you to break them.
Hold fire.
Shatter them, that is.
Glade guard! For Ariel!
Okay. Get over here. Attack them.
Glade guard! Bows of Athelloran! Retreat!
Come on, dryads. Just a bit more killing. Go attack them.
Ready and able! Archers ready! They will die! Understood?
Okay, broken. Don't shoot the dryads. They're kind of important for my plans. Okay, good. The lord's actually wavering. There we go.
Your orders. Athelloran.
Glade guard!
Onward.
Well, our dryads all nearly died, but well, we ended up fighting them off. Another change was that the arrows, you're seeing the arrows bounce off the trees there, but if your units are in a forest, I think for like a short while after they've just shot the arrows, they'll actually pass through trees. I think that applies for all ranged units, just to make it so that if you have your units inside of a forest and shooting out of it, not so many of their shots will just hit the trees and bounce off. Though it still ends up affecting it after a while. Something like that. Which is rather nice, because, you know, the forests do give benefits when you're inside of them. And some units fight better in forests than others do. But for ranged units, especially like wood elves, putting your units in a forest, what was most of them being ranged, meant that a lot of the shots would just end up bouncing off trees. So that can still happen. It's just, it's not, if they're on the edge of the forest and there's a number of trees inside, number of trees there, it's not going to be as big of a deal as it was. All ranged artillery, the forest cannons, 2 OP. Yeah, wasn't there something like they had it actually for artillery at some point as well? That's been changed, if that was something that had happened. Okay, we'll get the money. Oh, they just marched their army all the way over there. Ugh. And they're going... They went and colonized it the turn after. It still says it's pacified, but I suppose that's because they haven't actually built their settlement there. So they have to actually wait until the ruined city's built up. Still seem kind of aggressive on building up their settlements again. Yeah, whatever. You're going to attack Essen, take it over, and then I'm going to get attacked by... I'm not actually at war with Talabheim. Talabekland. That's not a worry at the moment. They've got no garrison buildings, no like recruitment buildings in there for the moment, so I think I'm just going to leave it. Will you come and attack me if I move down?
I refuse.
Probably not. I mean, if you take the settlement, maybe you'll attack me with both of those armies. I could deal with you if that happens. Come on. Come at me, bro. No. Yeah, well, there's no way I could win that. Damn it! Well, they took Essen. That's fine. They're in there now. We just, like, move forward, lay an ambush, and attack them the turn after, because I can't get there in one turn. Come on. Fight! Forest! Where is it? Be nice if it was maybe a little bit easier to tell where forest squares were. Because you think, like, this is a forest here, but no, it's not. You have to go off of the ambush percentage chance. Because this is light forest. This is light forest. This is grassland. Like, wherever the roots are, you'd think is forest. But not always. Anyway. Oh. What? Oh, I guess Talabekland were all with Beckhafen. So they went and took Beck were at war with Ostermark. So they went and took Beckhafen from them. It's kind of mean. This is why we can't trust humans. They'll turn on each other at a moment's notice. Damn it! Leave my settlements alone! Okay, I can catch you. Good.
Not likely.
You've made your last mistake, human. Okay, also, I have money, so we're going to spend some of that on here. I'm tempted to get Aspect of the Willow on you for that base weapon damage increase. Don't really need the missile or the armor increase. What's your missile resistance? 15%. I mean, yeah, I suppose you're a large target. Oh, that gets rid of armor piercing. Halves it. Whoop. We'll get oak on you, sure. What would affect you the most? Armor piercing. We'll get aspect of the willow on you, I think. Because you're sort of melee infantry chompers. Let's do that. I don't know why I find Drychas. Oh, so amusing. Actually, all the armor piercing for a treeman would probably be useful for going up against lords. Or the... no, it's base weapon damage, isn't it? What armor piercing? Okay. There. You can go there. You can go there. Like that. There we go. Oh, bats. Yes, bats, go into column like that. There we go. No, my cave bats. They're so... their unit is so diminished. Yes, line up. Line up for the penumbral pendulum of the century. No! Damn it! Damn it! You're moving! Ah. Yeah, well. We hit some of them. Curse you, AI. On the one hand, I kind of wish you could cancel spells. On the other hand, I'm kind of glad that you can't. Hello. Suddenly dryads. Like that, I think. I might have hit a few of my dryads, but acceptable losses for the greatest stompiness. And after them. Look at all these fences they have everywhere. They've had to cut down trees for those, you know. I knew this fence. Many of these fences were my friends. Oh, geez, my Great Hawks got destroyed. Oh well. They knew the risks when they signed up. There we go. Okay. Decisive victory. 99 losses. 183 kills for Drycha. Yeah, but Umbral Pendulum, still a good spell. 15 for the other. 132, 60, 106, 58, 38, 137, 74, 120. 15, 9. Pretty good. It's just a lot of swordsmen. I mean, we could just keep destroying it over and over again, and that gives us, more forest health. Let's see. I will get you. I don't want the physical resistance. I can stack it with pans and all of the wood. On you, Skin of the Woods for our Treekin unit, since we actually have some now. Okay. We can get another unit. Yeah, Aeromanticores. Sure. Sure. Intern. Talabakland declares war on Hochland. Surprised how often the AI is, or the Empire is declaring war on each other. Okay. Move down here. Go take Essen or sack it or raise it or something. There was no kills there, even in auto-resolve. Yep. We'll just clear it again. We get the Book of Asher. Nice. And you get Despoiler. Yeah, I'm gonna replace the Scepter of Stability with that. You haven't got any followers. And we can get Nature's Vengeance. Those at forest fringes where the Wargrove is known to dwell gather anything but deadwood at their peril. Plus 10 charge bonus for Dryad, Treekin, and Treeman units. Rouse to Wrath ability gains increased range, and the summoned Dryads no longer degrade. Hey! Nice. Actually mentioned earlier. Gains increased range. Yeah, 120. What is it currently? 60. Okay, so it doubles its range. Nice. Okay. Hostile Hearthland. Oh, that's just because it was Essen. Sure. Part of me wants to just own all these regions around here, just because, I don't know, you can own them. Like, now this vampire count's dirtying up my region, but it pretty much would mean you'd have to remove every other faction to be able to keep claiming them, because otherwise everyone's just going to keep coming and raiding your regions. I don't know. As much as I'd want to, like, go to war with everyone, if you do that, it kind of makes things... I think it would make things kind of impossible. Because it would mean you would have to destroy the neighbors completely. And you don't really have the economy to do that. Like, okay, I declare war on the vampire counts to clear out Essen. Okay, I claim Essen. Vampire counts come up here, take Essen, wartime, nag it off, whatever else. Now I have to clear out all those. Do I go down here, get rid of... Castle Drakenhof. I have to get rid of Templehof. Lord Oberstyre. They've got a better economy than I do. Maybe you have to bide your time and build up to that. Just raiding every now and then attacking later on. It's nice that it's not required that you, like, own these regions to be able to grow this. But, I do have research, don't I, where it's like... Was there one where it was like, was there one which caused like attrition over time in regions which you own or something like that? Or is that one of these? It's immune to vampiric attrition. Awakened forest attrition, local enemy armies. Oh, okay, that's just in this forest. So that's when they move into here. Into the Griffinwood region. Okay. This is difficult to move through. It does take them quite a while to march through. I still would think that even if they're like here, they'd still be able to siege it in one turn. Just march through. Because once they're sieging, I don't... Do they take attrition damage while they're sieging? I don't think so. Anyway. 5 more turns until that's upgraded. We can lower the upkeep of our units. 10%. Another 5%. What would be useful next? Is there an ambushing one? I think there was. Or did we get that? We got that. Okay. This one is for Great Eagle units. That's nice. 25 for Great Eagle units. Provides line of sight over medical forest. That would be good for the casualty replenishment rate. Construction cost reduction. Sure, let's go for that. Enter. I have to think about it. It might take a few tries to be able to play a completely aggressive action. Oh, what's this? Oh, this is the Dreaming Wood thing. A young Glade Lord, full of hope and naivety, wishes to journey into the Dreaming Wood to recover a lost artifact. Headstrong and confident, perhaps to the point of arrogance. The Dreaming Wood is a twisted domain ruled by the Prince of Pleasure, Slanesh. To enter is to dance with the chaos god of madness and desire. Most who enter never return, claimed body and soul by the forces of ruin. Yet this Glade Lord seems self-assured. Do you allow them to recover this item or forbid the journey? Though the Dreaming Wood is steeped in treachery, this Glade Lord's intentions are noble. Who are we to stop them? No, the Dreaming Wood is forbidden for a reason. Slanesh cannot claim another Azray soul. Not this day. Oh, I don't care about the Azray. What do you get? 5 turns of Chaos Corruption plus 15. Ooh, all provinces. Witstealer sword. Was forged in the molten heat of desire and cooled in a vat of Slanesh's blood. Plus 50 armor-piercing weapon damage. Magical attacks. Attacks caused discouraged. Reduced leadership. Plus 4 Chaos Corruption local province. Causes fear and terror. Be quite nice for Drycha. For the discouraged effect. Fear and terror. I think she causes terror anyway. Chaos Corruption's kind of nasty though. We'd have to keep her out of a settlement. You can have Sword of Strife. What lengths would you go to? Oh yeah, this is Lords. What do you get? Resplendence of Luminescence. Did we see that one? Magical Resistance. Yes, we did. Murderous Spikes. Befuddlement of Mischiefs. Can't move. Pageant of Shrikes. Blight of Terrors. Luster of Radiance. Yep, okay. Well, we're going to be combating the vampire corruption. Vampire corruption. That's actually going to be reducing the corruption is probably going to decline the Griffinwood. Where to go now? What do you think of us? It's improving. Skins. Ugh. I suppose we don't hate them as much as man. Let's go up to Kappelberg. I just want to get Drycha out of my region because of that chaos corruption. I mean, we've already got plus 15. We don't need an extra plus 4. How do we get to the Dreaming Wood all the way over here? Whatever. Hey, Kappelberg, are you building walls? I don't want to just get rid of these Great Hawks and get... Oh, we don't have another unit. The wings. Pun not intended. Fine. Get out of here. Sure. Auto-resolve. No, my K-Pats. Clear Heartland. There we go. Yeah, she's got like a unique stance there, kind of, when she's looking around. That looks good. It's just during battle she's got like a normal dryad animation. Weapon strength plus 12%, charge bonus plus 20. Also the reduced reload skill, also ammunition and all that. Indoctrinator. Well, Melkos mystified me as well because we don't have any elves in our army. Shifting Woods. Ambush success chance causes terror for your army while ambushing. And Befuddlement of Mischiefs. Can't move. Natural Order. Recruit branch wraiths anywhere. Plus 3 recruit ranks and 25% hero action reduction. Shifting Woods. No, it's nearly all the way up to 100. So a few more sackings and or raisings and we'll be able to I think it'll be like solidifying our control over the forest, awakening it or whatever it is. Are we going for time? Okay. Might go and attack and raise Beckharfen again and then perhaps call it for tonight. Whether by arson or natural causes, a flash fire suddenly rages through the forest. You can stem the fire's advance, but there is no time to save everything. You must choose what you wish to preserve. Save our infrastructure. Save our forces. Can't really do with that with the income reduction. Okay, you actually need another unit. Oh, I lost the cave bats, that's right. I guess get another unit of giant spiders. Really? Did I recruit those? My income is now perfectly 0. Wow. Okay, well. Auto resolve. I kind of want to occupy it. Let's occupy it. Prepare it. Pottery. And we'll get Get a waystone. I am going to get on you. Owl of the Forest.
Impossible.
Okay, 78. Yeah, okay. I can't believe. Perfectly zero. You gotta go and claim Kappelberg again. I mean, again, it's not too much of a problem. What, they claim it for a turn or two, it will go down. Like, forest health will go down maybe 1 point. Which will still put me at just +1 every turn. Corruption's not doing anything. It's on 22%, but it's not actually... Local decline, the corruption's not causing any reduction. So, maybe it has to be really high. Maybe like above 50? We're just causing problems for everyone. Bam! Chaos corruption's going up. Yeah, 100% ambush chance. Nice. Go there. Lay an ambush. Oh, they went over there. Yeah, whatever. I wonder if they could make it so that we could get replenishment in regions we don't own. Because, I mean, this would just be forest, which not necessarily under our control, but maybe we get a bit of replenishment in an empty province. Because the forest there would still be beneficial to us, maybe? Maybe it's just neutral. Tulsin declares war on Clan Scryer. They go capture Kappelberg. Yeah, see, like, now this is going to be... It's actually not? Why is it at... I'm at war with them. Why is this still pacified? Oh, but, of course, because I have to build up the ruined village. No, you're down there. But even though they take it, it will just be like, I can just move around and take it again another turn. Like this. And then I could just raise it again and get +5, +6. So it's not that big of a deal. Hunting Hound. Hey, we got a follower. Chances intercepting an army using the underway, beast paths, or world routes. +20%. I will get on you. Replenish groups. And on you, I will get the natural order. And let's get... Oh, that has forest healing on it. Also untainted. Provides Garrison. Malevolent branch wraith. It actually gives us a hero up there. That reduces construction cost. Also, construction cost -2% for all buildings faction-wide. That would only be in the forest, so each one you add would give you further benefit. Ooh, actually. You get another level of that. Discoverability is up to +50. Gives you 2 units of War Dancers as raised spears. Wine Nexus. Makes it sound like a giant portal to the wine realm or something. Okay. Hello, what do you want? Peace treaty? No. Attack more time! Yeah, there it goes. So that's going to be reducing it by 1. Which puts it to 0. But, Builder, strict. I feel builder should be changed to grower. Okay, go back into the forest. Chaos corruption is not going up anymore. That's nice. But we are still causing chaos corruption because of that sword. Oh dear. Woodsman hut. Yeah, no. Get that for the untainted. Chances are, yeah, we won't be able to get you. Are you just going up to Kappelberg now? Maybe we can ambush you or something. Oh, what's this? Ancient bark. As the Wargrove trudges through the forest, you encounter a wary-looking bristlecone pine tree growing amongst a sparsely populated grove, clearly of great age. At first, you dismiss it as inanimate and almost dead, but as you pass by, it suddenly speaks to you in a deep, booming voice. Though clearly still alive, the treeman reveals himself to be a long-lost elder ancient of incredible age, who has chosen this spot to relinquish his sentience and rejoin the forest permanently. Before he does so, he wishes to impart some of his wisdom to you, sensing your affiliation with the elder Coedel. But what knowledge will you seek from him? Cultivation. Let us learn how the tree spirits of the eons have survived and endured in their forest homes. Gives us construction cost reduction and construction time reduction for all buildings, all regions. Strength. Let us learn how the tree spirits of the eons primed themselves for war. Recruitment cost reduction, global recruitment capacity, and local recruitment capacity. We've got a full army at the moment. Build and flourishes, boy. Cool.
I refuse.
Oh, I can't get up to you. Oh. Ugh. Why do you have to be all the way over there? Gotta go take Kappelberg, and then I'm gonna have to take it back from you and roundabout. Okay, fine. But I mean, our growth is still going up, is it not? Well, no. It's stabilized, but that's fine. If they take Kappelberg, then we can just raise it and get 5 anyway. We haven't had one of those army pop-ups. Thing is saying, people are coming to attack your settlement. For a little bit. Another army comes down to attack Beckhafen. How many of your armies do I have to crush humans before you get the idea? For the greater good. A stranger of the Azray tentatively approaches the Wargrove. Before you can follow your instincts and immediately impale him with your sharpest branch limb, he earnestly reveals he is a messenger sent from a nearby conclave of wood elves. He speaks of many great threats to their woodlands and how by working together they can be overcome for the good of all forests and the tree spirits within. What say you? Refuse the elves. The Azrai are part of the problem. The Wargrove has the means to cleanse the forest of all threats, wood elves included. Minus 20 diplomatic relations with wood elves. Plus 10 leadership for dryads, treekin, and treemen units or armies. Accept the truce. There are more important things at stake than petty grudges the forest must endure above all. Plus 20 diplomatic relations with wood elves. No downside? I'd have thought their treekin would be upset at that, especially considering this seems to be specific to Drycha. Can't have people imagining we're getting soft in our old age. There we go. Okay, we'll go defeat this army, and then we'll probably call it here for today. I just take a look at the map. It's this one again. There we go. Okay, over there, over there, over there. Shrieking. Like, and you can position yourselves around my heroes like that. You can go there. Oh, the Aeromanticores doesn't get damn Vanguard deploy. It's just going to be all the way at the back there. There we go. Okay. I mean, it is kind of a powerful unit, but Treemen can Vanguard deploy. I guess that's just because the base Aeromanticore doesn't have Vanguard deploy or something. So wouldn't it be easier just to have an ability which means all units in Drycha's army could have Vanguard deploy? Does she get a skill like that? Now, are you going to move again when I do this? Come on. Stay still. There we go. Yeah. It was a bit off anyway. Oh well. Oh yeah, I can summon these from a further distance, can't I? Giant! Befuddlement of mistress. Oh wow! Holy, that's an area of effect? It's kind of nasty. It's just like, yeah, you all can't move. Doesn't last too long. I thought that would only be like on a single unit. I kind of miss since we're not playing as the modern version of Drycha. We're not getting all the time. It's probably for the best because I felt compelled to repeat it every time I heard it. It was most likely getting very annoying. I don't know, tree burps or something. Drycha, what are you doing up there? Get over here. Stop following their lord. I don't know why you keep chasing them. I mean, I know there's that issue, but I don't remember it happening quite so often. Ow, spiders.
The gods have abandoned us!
Where is your Sigma now? He's not here to help you while you're getting nommed on by giant spiders, which apparently can decapitate people. There we go. Okay, that's pretty much all of them dealt with. Decisive victory. 26 losses. Certainly got a pretty powerful army here. Especially with the aspects you can get. Giving them a bit more of a bump in strength. Okay, what will we do? If I clear it, someone else is just going to come in and claim it again. We can keep doing this over and over again. I guess, as I said, once we've grown our forest, once we've gotten enough growth for the Griffin wood, we don't really need to worry about these. Because I don't think it will go back down, so... kind of a moot point there at that point. Mantra of the Fallen. Wrath to Wrath gains an additional charge and infinite range. Infinite range, wow, okay, yes. Get that. Hello, welcome, welcome. Everything's going with you, Elders of Phoenix? Unfortunate though, we're just ending, probably just going to about to finish up for tonight. So, yes. Let's actually, before we end, I want to see what all the bonuses we get for the different forests. So the Griffin Wood gives us minus 20% recruitment cost for all armies, plus 1 global recruitment capacity, and plus 4 forest health per turn in Athelloren. I'm guessing that's going to be consistent amongst all of them. The Laurelon Forest, plus 12% income from all buildings, plus 1 global recruitment capacity, and yeah, plus 4. Okay, over here we have the Witchwood, plus 20% research rate, plus 1 global recruitment capacity. Okay, so only the top ones you need. Down here, is it casualty replenishment? Yes, plus 12% casualty replenishment rate. Over here, Orion's Camp, it's 200 unit experience gain per turn. And the Forest of Gloom, plus 20% campaign movement range. Yeah, my Throt campaign, I think this one ended up being taken by Grimgore, who seemed to have taken all the Badlands, and maybe also Karasakarak. So,
By Sigma, no.
yeah, more Telebaclons been coming to attack us. Is Telepine be raised? Looks like it's very low level considering 26 turns in. I mean, they've got Workbad as well. Altdorfers over there are all untouched. There was also this added over here. There's a little bit of extra map. From here. Previously it went down like this, but now it's all opened up here. There's, I think, 2 settlements here. Desolation of Drakenmoor. Dead Rock Gap. Then up here there's Seep Gore. And Silver Pinnacle, which actually has a vampire camp faction up here. So, let's see. Vampiric Corruption. That's not too heavy there. They might still be there. What? Oh. No, I don't want to use... This is the Deepwood, so we could travel to another forest via this. Oh, Forest of Gloom's been taken by, Arag Dromar. Dwarves in the stinking forest. Stinking dwarves in our forest. There we go. Can't let that happen. And the Oak of Ages, what's that give? Plus 50 growth all provinces. Minus 20% upkeep for all units. Minus 4 cooldown for Deep Roots teleportation. Okay, so that means every 6 turns you can use. And minus 8 forest health per turn in this magical forest for natural decline. Oh, okay. I guess that means so that you need more. As it takes more to get it higher. So that might be affected also by the other settlements around. Why is this? It's like it's defaulting to the yeah, it's like it's defaulting to the Deep Root system. Because usually it will pop up with this, so that you can see like ownership and all that. That's a little annoying. Because I don't necessarily want to have like this up here. I mean, it's nice that it's showing these. Oh, and the gain veil also. Plus 40 winds of magic. Arrows. I just expect this to be over here because that's how it is for all the other factions. And like if you click this, then maybe these would pop up. It's a nice little animation for the roots there. Do they stay on or they fade out eventually? Yeah. Hey. Oh yeah, they're actually a 3D like animation on the map. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it's just interesting. It's sort of like defaulting to this overlay rather than just having the base, which is for all the other factions. Because it's like, I'd imagine it's like the doesn't Skaven have a button over here? See, like Undercities, and you click on that, and then it shows Undercities or something. Or other factions have a button, which is to show a mechanic, and you actually click on it to get it to show up, rather than it defaulting to it. Anyway, interesting. Also, this is. Oh yeah, that is a button, and this is the Deep Roots travel. Yep. Okay, so you have to click on your army, and then you have to click on like the button where you want them to teleport to. But they have to be in the forest before you can do that, it seems. But this magical forest requires 100 health to begin the ritual of rebirth. Once initiated, enemies will attack the region. Defend it until the ritual is complete for additional rewards. And unlocks construction of the overgrown temple of Erethkiel. Okay. Minus 30% public order penalty due to presence of... Yep, we've gone over that. Unity to vampire corruption. So I suppose you can keep friends with the vampire counts and it doesn't really affect you. Does it cause doesn't give untainted? I guess you have other buildings for that. I guess public order reduction. Percentage of public order reduction due to corruption, or whichever way it goes. How much untainted can we get? +4, +2 in adjacent provinces. Also, you could build this as well, which would give -80%. I think. All up. Yeah. Okay. I wonder if we get unique buildings in the forest over here. That's going to be difficult to take. I feel like you'd need to take like at least 2 other forests before you'd have enough resources to be able to build up armies to take on the Wood Elves and Athaloran. Because that's like 4 major regions with 4 separate factions in there. Maybe you could make an ally out of Durthu and Gwilyn. But the other ones are Wood Elves. And then there's Orion.
You dare to come before your true king?
What's your thing? Technology, -60. Great power, -3. You don't have a version? Technology. What do you mean by technology? -60. Maybe that's the aversion? I haven't gotten any technologies which reduce our... I mean, we've got Way of the Dryads, which is -20 with diplomatic relations with Wood Elves. But that's not showing up. That's not showing up either. Because that would be under, like... Oh, what, like commandments or something like that? -60 is not good. Non-aggression pact. 8 beastmen. Yeah, okay. Anything else you say?
Corpse will be left beyond the waystones for Slanesh.
Yeah.
You called?
What do you have? -60, -3,
You need me?
-60, -3. We can't see Dirthu. Well, I like it that we maybe would have an ally somewhere. Because you feel rather alone playing as Drycha, because you're sort of at war with everyone, pretty much. Anyone who's, like, hurting the forests, and Dirthu's sort of your only potential ally out of all of that. But yeah. Anyway, I think that will do it for tonight, so we'll save it there. And we'll continue with our Drycha campaign next time. I don't know if I'll do as long as the one next time. We'll see. It depends whether I'm able to come up with something else to do as well. But yeah, this was fun. An interesting look at the new mechanics for the Wood Elves. How the forest spirits work and all that. Is there anything which I want to see in here first? Oh yeah, the spell weavers, the lord casters they get. You can get a lore of high magic and a lore of dark magic. That's trait that that's why that research we saw was there. There's of course Ariel. I haven't seen her yet. I really like the model, what they've done with her. Do we get other regiments of renown we could use? We got the Firebark Elders. Enigmas of Giron. Zotes. No unique treatment. Though we do get a Coedil. So. Is he listed in here? If we have a look at Wargrove of Woe. Campaign exclusive. Yeah, there he is. Okay. I won't mouse over him. I want to, you know, wait until we actually get him in campaign to have a look at it. Have a look at what he's got. But yeah. Okay. That will be it. So I thank you very much for joining, and I hope you'll join me again next time where I will continue with our Drycha campaign.